Grizzlies Sunday. Now get this, Shannon. An anonymous coach thinks Memphis will win easily. In fact, that coach picked Memphis in 5, telling The Athletic, quote, "The Grizzlies have too much firepower for the Lakers. John Morant, I don't know if there's anyone on that Lakers team that can guard him." All right, Shannon, I already have a feeling I know how you feel about this prediction. How wrong is it?
Well, I disagree with him, Skip. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion. That's how he feels because I agree with him. The Memphis Grizzlies are much younger. They're much more athletic. I believe they're a deeper ball club. But I think the thing is, when you look at LeBron James and AD, they got the two of the top 10 players that's going to start the game, the Lakers have the two best ones.
They just do. I mean, who can argue? Unless you want to argue Ja's better than LeBron?
Ja's better than AD. I don't think anybody's thinking Ja. But I like the matchup because I look at AD. AD in 35 minutes, he went 28 and 19. And then in 35 minutes, he went 30 and 22.
Against Memphis.
Against Memphis.
Yes, okay.
Now, Ja struggled. Ja was 9 of 29. The game in L.A. in which they lost, and they were down big. And Schroeder ended up stealing the ball. Traps Bane, steals the ball, and get an and one. And then he goes 39, 10, and 10. I like the matchup. I just think the thing is that AD does AD things, and I know what LeBron's going to do. They have two of the top 10 playoff scoring averages in NBA history. LeBron averages 28.7. AD is a little over 27. That's pretty good. Normally, LeBron, you can pencil LeBron in for his average come playoff time. AD, if he's going to give us 24 and 15, we'll take that. He just has to be dominant on the boards and blocking shots. Make it very, very difficult. I like the matchup. I think the matchup is really a good matchup for the Lakers because at the end of the day, Skip, this is what we know. This is not like a regular season where you got the East Coast swing and you got to hit Miami and you come up through Orlando and then you go off to Atlanta and now you're to Charlotte. You got one singular focus.
You do.
It's all about adjustments. And I like the Lakers. I think they're seasoned enough. I think they got a guy that has the highest basketball IQ, one of the top 2 or 3 highest basketball IQ ever. And in these moments, I think he's built for this. I like the Lakers. I disagree with this scout that's picking the Lakers to lose in 5. I like the Lakers in 7.
Okay. I vehemently disagree because I got Lakers in 6 in this series, starting with the first point that you made. The 2 best players easily at the start of Sunday's game will be, of the 10 players on the floor, will be LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Now, to the coach's point about John Morant, I don't know if there's anyone on that Lakers team that can guard him. I vehemently disagree with that. You run hot and cold on Dennis Schroeder. My man Lil Wayne, big Lakers fan, he'll go back and forth on Schroeder. I think Laker Nation goes back and forth on Schroeder because he can run hot and cold shooting threes. I got to tell you, that little man is, number one, very clutch in fourth quarters. He made a big shot, obviously, the other night. He's made a lot of big shots. And he will make crucial fourth quarter free throws. When he steps to the line, I am confident he's going to go swish, swish. I don't want to jinx him. I'm going to knock on wood for him. But for the most part, he has proven himself to me in fourth quarters. Well, right now, he's not even a starter for this team, but he is lightning quick. He can match Ja. I'm not going to say he's shutting him down. He can bother Ja Morant because he is pesky and pesty on defense. He's got a little bit of Pat Bev without all the shenanigans and all the melodrama, right? But again, he can guard at a very high level. And you just watch. He's going to have Ja a lot in this series, and he will bother him a lot because he can match his quickness. Can't match his elevation, but the whole point is you don't let him. It's like Jordan back in the day. You just don't let him get off the ground in the lane because when he comes down, the ball's coming down on your head.
What makes it so difficult to guard Ja? Yeah, he's lightning quick, but they put you in so many pick and rolls. They pick you here with those big guys, and then how do you handle it? That's the biggest thing. If Ja's going to be the shooting threes and shooting jumpers, Skip, you live with that. But you know he can kill you because he scores as many points in the paint like a big.
He does. Well, that's how Tony Parker used to kill people. Tony Parker twice led the whole league in points in the paint. Tony Parker's 6'2".
Yes.
How you do that?
Yes.
Well, he's lightning to the glass.
Yes.
He's not going to dunk on you.
No.
Jaw's dunk on you, but Tony would just lay it up off the glass, and he would beat the 7'2" guy to the glass.
Yeah, and so that's
Okay.
Ja. With the flow, he got a nice flow game. He got a leg up package.
He does.
He's good with left or the right hand. So,
Okay, I got it. But remember, Ja went from 2 years ago shooting 30% from three to getting in the lab, watch this, shooting 34%, winning most improved player, and then reverting right back this year to 30%.
Right.
And then big picture, I'm into the sort of emotional side of these games. I don't think their team is as tight this year as it was last year because there's been a cloud over Ja all year. He's had one incident after another, then he took his little sabbatical, whatever it was, a little hiatus, and he came back, maybe refreshed. I just think it sort of fractures your unity a little bit when you go through that much off-court drama, that they're not quite as tight as they were. They've taken on more and more of a villain role this year, and they love it, and they play to it. But listen, LeBron and AD, they scoff at villainy, right? They're not going to be affected by this. They're not going to let Dylan Brooks or Ja or name whoever down the bench get under their skin. They just won't.
Right.
So game one, Memphis is a 3.5-point favorite on Sunday. Tips at noon Pacific. It'd be 3 East and what, 2 there? Yeah, 2 o'clock in Memphis. I like the Lakers to quote unquote steal game one because I think they won't steal it. I think they'll just go flat out win it.
Right.
I love LeBron with 4.5 days off to revitalize, refresh, regroup, and refocus on this team. They got through the one game that they had to win. LeBron hit the wall a little bit in the fourth quarter and overtime, but they survived it, and it was a crucial win just for the rest. Meanwhile, Memphis has been resting way too much for a whole week, and rest will turn into rust. So I think they might be a little shaky in the first quarter, and I don't think LeBron and AD will be shaky in the first quarter. I think they will stick it to them. I think they'll take control and stay in control enough to win game one. And once you win game one on the road, it tilts the whole series where it's advantage you.
Yes.
Because then all the pressure goes on the home team to survive game two.
You definitely got to win game.
You have to win game two, and now you're facing 3 and 4 back at the crypt. And here we go, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm all about the Lakers just on sheer proven big-time playoff poise and experience. Those two guys, boy, they've been in a lot of battles, especially LeBron. And listen, seriously, I stepped back this morning. I look at this. Is there a more dangerous 7 seed in the history of the NBA playoffs than the Los Angeles Lakers? Help me out. No, can you remember a 7 seed where I look at them and I say, could they go win the whole thing? Yes, they could win the whole thing. I don't think they will, but I think they're going to get to the conference finals. They're the 7 seed because they struggled all year. LeBron was in and out of the lineup, AD in and out of the lineup, and they needed a complete reset on the trade deadline in which they got rid of Russ, they got rid of Pat Bev, and they added a whole bunch of nice little pieces that fit. And all of a sudden, when LeBron was out for his month, guess who emerged? Austin Reeves emerged as a trustable, I can't go third star, but a third starter that you can really trust to be in attack mode on both ends of the floor. And all I care about is the LeBron implicitly trusts Austin Reeves, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Reeves, he's earned that trust.
He has.
He's earned the trust with his play, the way he plays the game the right way.
Yeah.
Skip, they had a clip on him last night, and that it explains why he can score the basketball. He once dropped 41 in a game against TCU in college. Yeah. So you score 41 and you score.
You mean for Oklahoma?
Yeah, for Oklahoma.
He started at Wichita State. But he stayed at Oklahoma for
I remember the game him against Oklahoma State, Cade Cunningham, and they was in a battle.
I saw it. I watched it.
So,
I mean, the problem with Austin Reeves was he was like a 32% three-point shooter in college. He has turned himself into a deadly three-point shooter.
He got a nice stroke.
He's got a nice stroke, and he's got a clutch stroke that LeBron needs trustable snipers.
Yes.
I think he's got enough because Beasley I know he runs hot and cold, but he'll make some big threes for you. Troy Brown.
And you got to have thick skin to play with LeBron.
You do.
Because when you make a mistake, he's going to get on you, especially because he knows the finality of the playoffs.
Listen. LeBron has one of his pet projects is Hachimura. He's a really nice NBA player because
You got
he's
a big
strong
body. Yeah.
And he's a good kid who plays his tail off. And LeBron can work with that.
Yes.
And so they've propped him up psychologically with his three-point stroke. They've worked on it with the hand. He's worked on it.
Get a little more elevation to it.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, he's looking like a nice fit to me. And then you look down the bench, and we can throw in all kinds of different players. We still haven't seen Lonnie Walker here lately, but he's a nice athlete. Maybe against Memphis athleticism, you'll see some Lonnie Walker. Listen, Memphis will miss Steven Adams. It misses Brandon Clark. They're not quite the same they were a year ago. You got Triple J, Defensive Player of the Year. I got that. But I don't think he can guard AD as far as really bothering him.
I think the thing is, Skip, is that you got to keep him off the glass. Now, they don't rebound the basketball nearly as well without Steven Adams.
They don't.
Brandon Clark was bunny rabbit. He would just hop and get the boards and give them second chance. So I don't think they're as good on the boards, but they will get on the boards. Dylan Brooks and all those guys, they will crash the boards. But I just love this matchup. I think this is a very good matchup for the Lakers, a young basketball team, but I don't think they're seasoned enough. Now, people are like, well, Shannon, they did go 6 games with the Warriors last year, but it was the mistakes down the stretch that ended up costing them that series.
I got to tell you, big picture for these NBA playoffs, I'm as intrigued and as excited as I've been in like 20 years. All the matchups, even the first rounds, they are great.
Yeah, I don't know if we've had a first round matchup quite like we've had. Especially, you got the 4 or 5, the Suns and Clippers. You got 2-7 with the Grizz and the Lakers. So you got some great matchups.
Well, how about Golden State and Sacramento? It's just so it's so edge of seat. Like, which way are you going to go? We're about to talk about it.
Who plays defense down the stretch?
Okay.
Because both teams go light you up on the score offensively. Somebody's got to get a stop here.
One of my favorite times a year, playoff basketball. Good stuff, guys. All right, let's move on to the Suns. KD, do you think he's gotten a bad rap for being too thin-skinned?
Here we go again.
I can't wait to hear your take on this. That's next on Undisputed.